Okay, for our last example for this section, we've got a random survey done at a small Lutheran college where students were asked how many hours a week they spent watching TV. They were also asked what class they were in, and we have freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior 1, 2, 3, and 4. It says the survey was given to only psychology students. And here's our ANOVA table. So this looks like it's an output from something other than StatCrunch, some other software. So it says which class had the highest sample mean number of TV hours and which had the lowest. So again, sample mean is our X bars. That's what's going to be recorded in our table. We can know our sample means, and we're trying to make a statement about our population means. So as far as the sample means are concerned, it looks like the smallest was the freshman. So they watched the least amount of TV, and the highest was here's the highest. These values here were the sophomores. So again, I can see that my sample means were all really pretty close together. 5.5 was the smallest, then I have a 5.6, a 5.9, and a 6.8. So the question then becomes, based on this information, is there enough difference between these values for us to go ahead and claim that there really is, in the bigger picture for all of the students, a difference between the TV hours? So let's write our null and our alternate. Our null is going to be that they're all the same, so that mu1 is the same as mu2, mu3, and mu4. And my alternate will be that at least one of these is different. And then another thing that we're saying when we claim this is we're claiming that if all of the means are basically the same, then what we're saying is that there's no association between your class and your TV hours. That those things don't affect each other in any way because it's all basically the same no matter what class you're in. But if at least one of them is different, then I'm saying that there is an association between these things. Our F and our P value is in a slightly different spot, but I can still find those. So my F is 0.29, my P is 0.833. So if I had thought about this one being right skewed with this being 0, 0.29 is very far over here, leaving a lot to be shaded. So based on that, I've got, since this is much bigger than 0.05. They didn't tell us what to use, so we'll default to that. So when P is large, we fail to reject. So it looks like in this case we're failing to reject it, so we are sticking with this. We're not going alternative, we're sticking with it. So it looks like there isn't any association here. The means are all basically the same. So there is no association between class and TV hours. So we don't find any kind of an association. So part E is kind of a what if question. So it says, what if you did find that there was an association between these things? Would that be enough to show that your class causes a different level of TV hours? And explain. So again, be very careful. We're very touchy with that word cause. It's very rare that we can actually use the word cause. In this case, we absolutely cannot say that. Because if you remember, again, we're getting close to the end of the semester, but if you remember all the way back from Unit 1, what is wrong, what's missing here is that there's no random assignment into your groups. These people weren't randomly assigned to be freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. That's not a random thing. You don't just walk into a high school or a college and they say, oh, we're randomly going to say that you are a such and such level. So there's a reason why they are in those levels. It's not a random thing. So we absolutely cannot claim cause and effect. This is an observational study. So cannot claim cause and effect. And remember, when we have observational studies, we usually have many confounding variables. So I challenge you to think, what could some confounding variables be here? What could be, we found that there was no association, but again, what if there was? What if the different class levels that you're in really did seem to have some kind of an association with how much TV you watched? And if it doesn't have to do with the class that you're in, what else could it be? So I would maybe think of, maybe it's ages, maybe it's the age, right? You're a freshman versus a sophomore versus a junior versus a senior are different age groups. So maybe it's that, maybe it's jobs, maybe it's athletics or other extracurricular activities. So it's probably one of those things, maybe, that's actually causing the difference, not simply which level of class that you're in.